On the brief this morning, one of Binance's detained executives, Nadeem Anjarwalla, is on the run after escaping lawful custody. The federal government, via the Office of the National Security Advisor, has activated operations to ensure his rearrest to continue the ongoing criminal probe into activities of the cryptocurrency exchange platform Binance in Nigeria, and after a 4-count tax evasion charge was filed against the company. The Minister of Information, Mr. Mohammed Idris, and the Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mr. Zach Adedeji, both briefed State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting on efforts to ensure he is apprehended and the need to conclude related litigations.
There is now on him. The Interpol has also been contacted, and government is optimistic that this individual will be brought to book very soon. And those who were charged with the responsibility of keeping him in custody have also been arrested, and they have been questioned. And as more information as regards that is available, it will be made available to Nigerians.
For us in revenue, it doesn't matter because we are dealing with company, not individual. So irrespective of where they are in the world, we have what it takes to make sure that they come and they comply with our law. So it doesn't matter whether the man is here or anywhere in the world. As long as we have Binance, there is no way they will escape the compliance matter that we file against them. So I don't think we have any problem in that.
Away from that, they are now in safe space to continue what's left of nothing short of a traumatic experience. We're talking about the freed Kuriga school children who have formerly been presented to Governor Ubasani at the government house in Kaduna State following their rescue by the military and local authorities in Zamfara State 2 weeks after they were kidnapped. Presenting them to the governor, the GOC 1 Mechanized Division of the Nigerian Army explains that 6 out of the 137 children are undergoing medical care at the military hospital. Governor Sani says he's happy over the return of the children and cautions against politicizing security in Kaduna State, assuring that security of lives and property of the citizens remains a priority of his administration.
We should not politicize the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. And that is the reason why we are very discreet in the way we approach this issue, and today we are successful. But any attempt to continue to undermine the effort of the security agencies in Nigeria in the name of politics is jeopardizing the lives and properties of our innocent citizens in Nigeria. I want to also caution our insecurity merchants and complete merchants in Nigeria to be cautious with utterances. Since the return of my children in the last 2 days or yesterday evening when I was able to visit them, a lot of people have been spending a lot of time coming with permutations on how these children were released, what happened. For us in Kaduna, what is more important is the self-returns of our children. We're happy they're here with us.
Excited to see them back and safe. Meanwhile, it appears the federal government stood by its position of not paying ransom as it insists that no money change hands for the abducted Kuriga children in Kaduna State. The Minister of Information, Mohammed Malaki, said the victims secured their freedom through the concerted efforts of security agencies in the country. On comments made by Islamic scholar Sheikh Abubakar Gumi over the activities of bandits in the country, the minister said government is open for constructive advice that will assist in tackling the challenges of security or insecurity as it may be in the country.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is determined to end this cycle of payment of ransom to kidnappers. Government believes that this continues to encourage these kidnappers, these criminal elements to perpetrate this act within the Nigerian nation. The security agencies are also upping their game and evolving new strategies of getting at these criminal elements and ensuring that our children or anybody who is kidnapped for that matter is taken out in safety. Government will not stop at anything to get any kind of information that it requires to solve our problems. The security agencies are up and doing. Shegumi or any other individual for that matter is not above the law. If he has suggestions that are constructive enough for the security agencies to take, they will take. But But if they think that he is also making some statements that appear to be reckless, he will also be reprimanded. There is nobody that is above the law in this regard. And I'm aware, let me put it here, and I'm aware that he has been also a guest of the security agencies to answer questions. When you make remarks, especially remarks that border on our national security, it is incumbent on the security agencies to dig further into that, and they are doing just that.
Well, the issues of Binance and insecurity were not the only subject for deliberations at the Federal Executive Council meeting, as it also approved the construction of 28 roads and bridges across the country. It's worth about 1.2 trillion naira. The Minister of Works, Mr. Dave Umahi, said this shortly after FEC meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu. He said the projects were approved by the government, having gone through the Bureau of Public Procurement, and certificate of no objection secured, amongst other issues that were discussed.
The establishment of Renew Hope Infrastructure Fund as the catalyst to actually drive our infrastructure agenda. So this innovative fund consolidates existing resources to drive economic growth and connectivity across sectors like transport, agriculture, aviation, and education and other social.
The other 28 projects totaling 1.267 trillion, they were all approved by FEC, having gone through the BPP, and we got certificates of no objection.
The establishment of Renew.
Let's move on now. The number of persons who died following a stampede during an arms-giving program in Bauchi State capital has risen to 7, and they're all females. Spokesperson of the Bauchi State Police Command, Mr. Ahmed Wakili, says 6 of the victims were pronounced dead at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, while 1 person died at home. Some of the relatives of the victims who either died or are still receiving medical attention spoke to Channels Television. In the meantime, the call for the resignation of the Labour Party National Chairman, Mr. Julius Abure, is far from over, as former trade union leaders are calling for his resignation, and that of the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Mr. Joe Ajero. The veterans, led by former vice president of the NLC, Mr. Issa Tijani, made the demand at a media briefing in Abuja. Mr. Tijani explains that the allegations of fraud against Mr. Abure has dented the image of the party, while allegedly, while it is wrong for Mr. Ajero to picket the party.
Legion of Labour Veterans is intimately familiar with the damning records of financial sleaze said to have been flagrantly perpetrated by the national chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, an inveterate money monger of no mean repute. We strongly believe that his trial and subsequent conviction will serve as a deterrent to aspiring young politicians, particularly those from trade union background. In this connection, our good members are hereby strongly reaffirming their cardinal demand that Abure must go. There is no reason for the Nigerian Labour Congress to go and picket the Labour Party. There's absolutely no reason. That's why Ajero has committed a crime. Abure has also committed a crime. You cannot picket somebody from your house. The Labour Party is part of Nigerian Labour Congress. Labour Congress is part of Labour Party. So who are you picketing to? What's the psychology of the picketing? Do you understand what I mean? What would you tell people? How are people seeing us now in the face of the public? That we are a divided house against each other and we want to use all means. No, we are not in support of the picketing.
Let's see how things play out in that party. In a few hours, the Central Bank of Nigeria Monetary Policy Committee will conclude its 2-day meeting as Naira continues to strengthen against the dollars, and all eyes on whether the Apex Bank will retain, reduce or hike rates, although many experts are expecting another hike to be delivered at the end of the meeting. However, the CEO of Cowrie Asset Management, Mr. Johnson Chukwu, holds a different view on this particular matter. Let's now head to the international scene. It's a matter of hours before Senegal's young opposition candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye, a political neophyte, as you say, will be declared president-elect after his main rival and former Prime Minister of Senegal, Amadou Ba, called him on Monday to concede defeat. Early results indicate that Mr. Faye has secured about 53.7% of the vote, and Amadou Ba from the current ruling coalition stands at around 36.2%, based on the tallies from 90% of polling units in the first round of votes, according to the Electoral Commission. Mr. Ba and President Macky Sall both congratulated Faye, who turned 44 yesterday, as they hailed the outcome as a win for Senegal, whose reputation as one of West Africa's most stable democracies took a hit when Sall postponed the elections. In the world of sports, Azizat Oshola, Chiamaka Nadozie, Rashid Ajibade, and 19 others have been called by the Super Falcons head coach Randy Waldron for the Paris Olympics qualifiers clash against South Africa. Coach Waldron also kept faith with regulars like Michel Alozie, Chris Uchebe, and Alimatu Ayinde and Gift Monday. The Super Falcons are home for the first leg, scheduled for April the 5th at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, before they will fly to Pretoria for the return at the Loftus Vessel Stadium on April the 9th. The winner over the two legs will earn one of Africa's 2 tickets to this year's Women's Olympic Football Tournament in faraway Paris, France. And those are the stories we've been tracking for you in the last 24 hours, and will shape part of the conversation for the rest of the program and the rest of the day.